Welcome to the deep dive.
Ugh.
Okay, today we're zeroing in on Totally Nutz.
Yeah, the franchise.
Exactly. It's popped up in Entrepreneur Magazine, their top low-cost franchises for 2025. And there's this buzz about some owners apparently seeing serious returns really fast, like within a month, sometimes just December.
That's the hook, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
So our goal here, for you listening, is to cut through that hype and really give you the essential info on this opportunity, quick and thorough.
Okay. Well, what's kind of interesting right off the bat is, how this whole thing started.
Yeah.
They actually began back in 1990 just roasting nuts for, special events.
Oh, okay.
Then Totally Nutz, the company, formed in 92, but the franchising, that didn't kick off until 2014.
So quite a gap there. They were operating for a while first.
Exactly. Building the foundation, and by 2015, the next year, it apparently already had 43 franchisees.
Wow. Fast growth once they started.
Yeah, seems like it. Founded by Matt and Yvette Barker.
Right, so a family background there. And the product itself is, pretty straightforward.
Super simple, fresh roasted nuts, almonds, pecans, cashews with that cinnamon glaze.
You could almost smell it.
Yeah. They really push the quality control aspect, keeping it consistent, and it's gluten-free.
Oh, that's a good point. Definitely opens up the market a bit more.
For sure.
Now, getting into the business side.
Yeah.
They offer different ways to actually run this, right? It's not just one setup.
No, exactly. There's some flexibility. They have an 8-foot event cart, sort of the standard, maybe.
Okay.
Then an 8-foot traveler cart, sounds more mobile, and a kiosk. But the neat thing is the kiosk can apparently convert into a mobile cart, too.
Oh, interesting. Adaptable.
Yeah. And they talk about it being turnkey. So, they provide the equipment, your initial supplies, tries to make starting up a bit easier.
Less sourcing stuff yourself.
Right. Plus, you can scale it. Start with one, maybe add more later if it works out.
And it seems to fit different kinds of people. We saw examples like Veronica, who has a corporate job but runs a cart part-time.
Yeah, her. And Tim, an IT guy, involves his family. Then you have Brant, who's doing it full-time. So, yeah, different approaches.
That flexibility seems key. And the family angle comes up a lot. Dave and Amy, Craig and Karen. Families working together.
It definitely seems positioned as family-friendly.
Okay, let's get into the financials. The money part.
Always a good question.
It looks like a relatively low entry cost, starting around $57,000 for the initial investment.
Yeah, around there. And the mobile event cart is even lower, maybe $37,000 to start.
That is low for a franchise. And that claim about potential ROI just in December for some, it's pretty bold.
It really grabs your attention. Now, they did share some historical data, but you have to remember this is from 2015.
Okay, noted. Old data. What did it show?
Well, for that year, it showed $117,640 revenue and about $95,640 net income before rent, which they listed around $22K.
So impressive numbers, but yeah, nearly a decade old now. Needs context.
Absolutely. And then there are ongoing fees. The franchise fee itself depends on if you buy 1 unit or 3 or 5.
Right.
Plus a 6% royalty on sales and a 2% brand building fund fee.
Standard stuff for franchises mostly.
Pretty standard. But look, the potential for quick cash flow seems there, especially at events. They say the roasters can bring in $60 in just 8 to 10 minutes.
Wow. If you've got the crowds, that churns quickly.
That's the idea. High traffic is key.
Makes sense. So what about help? What kind of support do they give franchisees to, make this work?
Well, based on what franchisees say, the corporate support seems pretty good. It's mentioned often.
Like what specifically?
4 days of training out at their place in Utah. You can get on-site training, but that costs extra.
Okay.
And they offer ongoing help, like with negotiating leases, finding sites. Plus, they have franchise conferences, sort of building a community.
So support is there if you need it. The question for you, the listener, is how much that structured support matters to you.
Exactly.
So who is this for? What's the ideal Totally Nutz owner look like?
They seem to want people focused on service, family-friendly, like we said, someone who enjoys dealing with the public.
Makes sense for an event-based business.
Totally. And they want people who are, hungry, resourceful, dedicated, persistent, that kind of drive.
Got it. And they have that veteran discount too, 10% off the fee.
Right, yeah. Which points towards valuing that background.
And one thing we haven't really hit hard is the advertising or lack of traditional advertising needed.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge point. The smell,
Yeah.
roasting those nuts on site, That's your advertising right there.
The aroma draws people in, especially at fairs or markets where people are already looking for snacks. Built-in marketing.
Exactly. You go where the traffic is.
And we saw some positive comments from franchisees, right? Greg feeling supported, Dave and Amy on the family time.
Yeah, generally positive themes around support, flexibility, family involvement. People seem to like the concept.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the core takeaway here?
Well, if you boil it down, Totally Nutz looks like a relatively low-cost way into franchising. Simple product, flexible setups, mostly for events, and yeah, that potential for a quick return if you hit the right spots.
Right, so the key thing for you to take away is it's an accessible franchise. Simple, appealing product, flexible models, potential for fast cash flow, especially in event settings.
That's the gist.
Okay, so here's something to think about. We talked about their kiosk that converts to a cart, right? And that powerful smell marketing. Thinking about that adaptability, what other, maybe less obvious places or types of events could be untapped gold mines for a Totally Nutz franchise? Where else could that smell work its magic? Something for you to chew on.